reeled out this morning. Well, I wanted to say Chris, but it's not Chris. But it's Lawrence Ibenyo. Good to have you. Good morning.
Thank you. Good morning. Good morning. Yeah.
So there's a whole lot. I just hope that we can fit in another 20 minutes or 25 minutes. The arrest of Simon Ekpa. Sit at home is still persistent. One would have thought that since he took over from Nnamdi Kanu, you would have thought that, you know, everybody, you know, and he did all these pronouncements on social media, did all this campaign on social media, and now he has been arrested and there are calls for him to be extradited. In fact, the last time I heard a story about that, there has been an agreement between the Nigerian government and the Finnish government to have him sent back to face trial of terrorism in Nigeria. I'm just wondering, this particular arrest by Simon Ekpa, do you think that it will bring some peace in the Southeast?
That is our expectation, that is our hope, that's our prayer. But the extent it will go is what I cannot say. Even when you kill a terrorist leader, you don't know how much other leaders they have produced in the process. So he's not killed, he's just under arrest. I hope that he doesn't have lieutenants that who as that hard as he is, who continue to make the same you know, pronouncements, or who continue to operate even if it is underground. So, but sincerely speaking, I think we should actually, as Southeasterners, we should begin to resist however it comes. It is, we keep saying, who are these people? Is it foreigners that come here to perpetrate crime, to kill our brothers and sisters? We are looking for liberation. We are looking for betterment of Biafra land, as they tell us. Do we do that by killing your brother, or spilling blood on the streets, or causing damages, burning cars and houses? I don't understand that concept. If it is, I don't know how that will help in whatever we are fighting. You are agitating against what is being done to you as a region. The person who is doing that to you is somewhere else in Abuja, and you are killing your brothers. It does not make sense to me. It does not. So my prayer is that now that he is under arrest, I hope the another story I'm hearing is fake, that he's been released. I don't want to believe that. But I also read something online that he was granted what do you call it?
Bail.
I hope it's not true. Yeah, because so many things fly around these days. But sincerely, let us talk to ourselves as Easterners. Who are those people? Unless they are foreigners who come here to kill, I don't think they are foreigners. We should begin to, you know what it means to shed blood? Shed blood of your brother and your sisters. It does not make sense to me.
But, but let's look at it holistically. Nnamdi Kanu is still been in custody against the wishes of the court that has pronounced his release. But we still have that, and then there's a Simon Ekpa who's still in custody. And I'm just wondering, really, what for you is the reaction of people in the Southeast about this latest development?
The arrest of
Simon Ekpa.
Well, it's multifaceted. I think that first of all, people are excited that he's behind. Many people are. Then the next leg of it, of what impact, is Simon Ekpa really the only solution to the problem in the Southeast? If you ask me, the long-lasting solution, as people here have said, is people are using the name of Nnamdi Kanu to protect crime. Why don't you release Nnamdi Kanu? I release you. Release Nnamdi Kanu. Let's know what they will now use as claim to do what they are doing. If every Monday people will sit at home because it's solidarity with Nnamdi Kanu. Nnamdi Kanu, stop sitting at home for me. I didn't say you should sit at home. Even if I say I've recanted, don't stop sitting at home for me. When you're still sitting at home. And there's somebody, a particular person I know, he has never opened his shop. Even one that's open, he will never open his shop on a Monday. That is his own way of showing solidarity, sincerely from his mind. He's showing solidarity. But what are the implications of what you're doing? So I'm telling the president of Nigeria, please, sir, in view of what is happening in the Southeast, can you please release Nnamdi Kanu? Let's see any other reason somebody will give for committing crime in the name of protesting on behalf of Nnamdi Kanu. What will it cost the government to release him? The court has said so severally. So what is it that, what would this country lose if they release him? And that's to me is a weaker solution than holding someone Ekpa, trying him or whatever, or even extraditing him. That's a more lasting solution. If that doesn't work, then I mean you can do it. But I think that is, to me, is a long-lasting solution to the problem.
Wow, really, it's really tiring hearing all of these things. All we want is peace in the region.
Yes.
We keep hearing the clash between non-gunmen, non-state actors and the Nigerian soldiers. I think there was one that even happened just yesterday in Abia State, you know, between army and non-gunmen. And then you keep hearing this over and over again. Someone has been arrested. There is no pronouncement. So who are these people representing? Why are they going against, you know, soldiers, you know, our security, you know, apparatus?
Let me say this, whether we like it or not. Just like kidnapping, just like Boko Haram terrorism and so on and so forth. This so-called, this what's happening in the Southeast has become business to some people. It has become business to some people.
How so?
Please, do you know that these people who are doing this, are they not funded? Who are funding them? If they stop the activities, maybe those who are funding them will stop funding them. So, and what are they funding? They are funding them because I think they are freedom fighters. So you don't know if, especially in the Abia and the Imo axis, you don't know about kidnappings. That they also carry out kidnappings. You think it's only herdsmen that carry out kidnappings. How do they get funds for what they do? I don't know what I'm saying. They have, some of these things have gone into crime. If you go to that territory and people, my only problem in this country is that what are we doing with technology? What are we doing with technology? It's a question of shooting gun or not shooting gun. What are we doing with Intel? What are we doing with those things that we have? Are we deploying them effectively to nip crime in the bud in this country? I don't think we are. So, just like when, even in this situation that people are crying about harsh economy, some people are enjoying it too. You may not know. There may be few, but let them not continue, because for this forex, you know, foreign exchange market, people are profiting from the fluctuation in foreign exchange market. So everything that we think is bad, some people somewhere are wanting to continue happening. That's the dilemma of life. That's the dilemma of life.
Yeah. All right. So federal government is planning more troops to sex spreads in the north. The Lukarawa terrorist organization. I really don't know how those guys, you know, just came in. I think the Senate President the other day was saying that these are people who came in from Mali, from Libya, Niger, and then they found their way into Nigeria. And I'm wondering why there haven't been any, you know, actual heat on that axis regarding this. Why are they looking at them spread across the northwest?
Well, however they came, just like what I just said, what are we using with intelligence? What are we using with technology? What are we using? I mean, it's the same thing. At times I wonder, does government really want to end these things? Or are they partakers in what is happening? They cannot be, because that cannot be a government. But then, I don't think we have done what we're supposed to do to tackle that. If we are no longer able to do it, let us invite foreign assistance. It is not, I mean, let us invite foreigners if we cannot deal with crime in Nigeria. Because as far as they are all crime.
You mentioned that some of these things are business as usual. For some persons, who knows? One-time president once mentioned that there are people who are within his cabinet that are even sponsoring, you know.
President Jonathan said so. Former president said so.
You know.
He said so. And we've also heard that some of these people are on some government payroll. This latest group, I heard they were brought in to help tackle insurgency in the part of the region. Along the line, they became terrorists themselves. They came to help, and they're now helping themselves.
All right. We'll move over to unemployment rates. The NBS released latest statistics, and they were saying that unemployment has dropped. The NLC is saying they're protesting against that particular report, that is false, that unemployment has actually dropped. I mean, NBS is our national bureau. They are the ones that are into research in Nigeria, and they even said GDP has also improved, and the president, based on that, is saying that they're going to hopefully capitalize on the latest growth to make our economy a $1 trillion economy by 2030. What's your take on that?
Charles, please. The NBS GDP, what the other one you mentioned? They are all in the market. When I go to our market now, I find out whether it is happening or not. Let us not begin to bamboozle ourselves. Why are you celebrating? It's not as at yesterday. What's the dollar rate now?
1,740, 50. I mean, some persons 1,740, 1,750.
Good, and that is what reflects in the marketplace. Any GDP figure you are giving me, and it is not reflected in the price of goods in the market, in the price of my transport fare, in the food I buy in the market, it does not make sense to me, and it doesn't make sense to anybody. Keep bringing out figures. This is the one they will celebrate if it's accepted now. If they say that this thing has gone down, nobody will. And if you talk, they will begin to what do they call the spin doctors will unleash terror on you. Why did you say that? So I don't really. It doesn't make sense to me. It's good, but let us feel the impact. Let the common man feel the impact of that GDP growth. That's what matters to us, not the figures.
But don't you think we're on the path of growth and development?
We have been hearing that. We've been on the path from day 1, day 2, day 3. Good. This is Christmas. Just after this program, move into the market.
A bag of rice is actually 95,000 naira.
From what was it before?
From what? 70. It used to be 65.
And food the price was part of what was mentioned to be coming down. Yeah. Does it reflect? You have just answered that question.
Well, in some places,
I'm not doubting NBS. Let me not say that would be. I don't know. I'm not doubting the figure, but I'm saying let us begin to let it reflect in the cost of living, standard of living, in our daily lives. That's what matters to us. That's what matters to Nigeria the most.
You know, so many persons also think that the pump price of fuel, the increase or the removal of subsidy that has also made the prices of fuel go up is actually part of the reasons why food prices are up. You don't expect food coming from, you know, Kano states or maybe food coming from Benue or from Jos into Enugu. The same price as when prices of fuel was 600 naira or even 400 naira. The person who transported it has to also put his own costs. Do you think that particular line of chain of distribution, which is fuel, you know, costs that high rate of food prices?
I don't know that about. I've said that before. Maybe the last time I appeared, I said so. That if you want to address most of these things, go to that fuel price. There is no crime. It's not a crime to subsidize any aspect of somebody's living. In advanced countries, they may do it in agriculture, food they eat. It is not a crime. The only thing is that, like I keep saying, people are running away from fighting corruption. They feel that even when the long and short of it is that they feel that when you subsidize fuel, it enters there's corruption, it enters private pockets or whatever. I mean, and all that kind of thing. Please, if you reduce the price of fuel now in the market, so many things will come down. And even that GDP you're saying it will even see further growth in GDP.
True. Because
what come to think of it, you leave this place now. How many vehicles are on the road now?
Very few.
I'm very few vehicles. We think that it's no easy to sit at home. I was coming, where are vehicles?
True.
But this is the first system, but when people should be traveling massively.
Yeah.
But there are no vehicles on the road. They will travel, but it is not at the, and that is economic. Those are things that grow GDP. When people are sitting in their home, there's no GDP, there's no GDP growth. It is when people are involved in economic activities, moving from place to place, engaging in income, that's what grows the economy. Not when people are lying down and wondering what they will eat, whether they will eat today or not. It doesn't grow any economy.
Okay. All right. We are wrapping up right now, and senators are querying federal government's borrowing. Tinubu ministers justify the plans. Of course, you know that no country in the world is, isn't owing. But again, they will say that it's about what you do with the monies that you have borrowed. Yeah. But we're still borrowing. Yeah. We just borrowed $2.2 billion. That's around some trillions, so 1.77 trillion naira. One wonders that's even before the 2025 budget is presented. I think it's about that. I think this week or next week we're going to have the budget presented to the National Assembly. But what do you make of this borrowing by the federal government?
You said it. It is what we borrow for. I just had when Engina Bariba was talking about the jet they bought, refurbished jet, whatever, that they didn't approve. They didn't approve it when it was purchased. Don't know whether it's true or not, but when his senator says that he didn't, how can you spend money in that amount without approval from the National Assembly, which is the approving authority for government spending? So that is it's illegality as far as I'm concerned. So talking about what do you call it now? The borrowing. Borrowing. What are we borrowing for? If you borrow for productive activity, nobody will say why are you borrowing. But if you borrow for consumption, to build houses for the vice president, to refurbish houses, to increase the food in the kitchen, sort of kitchen and so on and so forth, those things do not make sense. And it does not reflect on how the life they want Nigerians to live. Nigerians are suffering, finding it difficult to feed on a daily basis, and we are engaging in some of these frivolities. It doesn't really make sense. It doesn't. So my worry is why are they talking about the borrowing? Didn't they approve of the borrowing? Because what Edun and Bagudu is saying is that these things are or things you already approve within the budget. So if you give approval for the borrowing, so why are we now talking about the borrowing again?
A lot of people are saying that the president is actually implementing IMF policies. So far, the subsidy removal was by IMF, World Bank, and all that. Just in one line. Do you believe so, and to what extent?
There's no doubt about that. There is no. The fact that the way the government has stuck with the foreign exchange regime, the foreign exchange market, and the removal of subsidy shows me it is IMF, World Bank at play. It is not hidden. It's not in doubt, and they have not denied it though. I've not heard going to say no. The IMF didn't tell me or World Bank didn't tell me. I've not heard it anywhere. So it's not far from the truth.
All right. Lawrence Ibe-Yewan, thank you so much for your input on today's program. We truly appreciate it.
Thanks for having me. Yeah.
All right. We're headed for a short break. When we return, we'll continue on another segment this Tuesday morning. Just stay with us.